the 1995 NBA All-Star Game.
Fadeaway shot by Barkley.
What do you think about the jersey?
I love it.
All right.
It's my favorite one so far.
I love the jersey, not only the colors, but just honoring the history. You know, whenever you can tell a story and represent that moment, I know it was big for the city.
And then, of course, the thing that was kind of the star of the show, I think, has been the uniform itself, which even today seems to be really popular.
My name is Tom O'Grady. I joined the NBA in 1990 as the league's first art director. Phoenix was the benchmark where we just said, let's look at the Phoenix Suns brand and let's replicate that at every touch point in the All-Star Game branding for 1995. I was very fortunate because I had worked on the Suns uniforms in 1992-93. It was the 25th anniversary of the team, and they were moving into a new arena, and they had just signed the superstar in Charles Barkley.
We wanted an identity. We wanted people around the country to look at what we were doing here in Phoenix in every way from top to bottom, that this is a place they wanted to be.
So when I first met with Jerry, his mandate to me was, I want to do a fresh, modern design, but I want it to be a modern classic. I don't want it to be too trendy. I don't want to have to go through this again in another 5 years. That streaking sun ball was one of the first designs we did. It's so funny because it was streaking downward. And when we first presented to Jerry back in his offices, he looked at 5 or 6 different designs, and he really went to the design with the streaking ball, and he said, but I don't want the ball going downwards, I want it going upwards. I want to be progressing. And so we went back to the offices in New York, we made the fix, and we sent that back to him, and that jettisoned the identity. There was not many changes after that.
Well, it was trial and error. When you have good people involved in the process, you're usually going to have a good result.
Jerry fell in love with the design, the team seemed to love what we had done with it, and when we moved on to the All-Star Game designs in 1995, we had a captive audience. We didn't have to sell Jerry or the Suns that he wasn't in good hands.
We wanted people around the country, around the world, to know where the game was being played. So the players and the uniforms were representing the destination, the Valley in our case. And that happened through an incredible design palette.
Everything starts with the All-Star Game logo. That's front and center. So in the front is the cactus, and behind it is the sunset with the Camelback Mountain Range behind it. Underneath it is a trim to reflect the marketplace and the culture within that area. And so it's got these multiple stories built within it. It was exciting for me to bring in the color palette from the Suns and add just one extra color, which would have been the cactus. We had to be pretty clever back then because this is 1994 we were designing this, so this thing called the internet wasn't really percolating just yet. So we'd ask, can you send us or mail us something or FedEx some samples of what you see or some photos or some Polaroids of examples of trim, and we were given those by the team, and that was our reference for the pattern that you see within the logo.
And it all came together beautifully. I don't think we knew at the time, I'm sure we didn't, how very popular that uniform would become.
You know, I've seen the NBA All-Star old jerseys from back in the days, and it kind of matches it, resembles it. I like the valley and the stitching on it.
I like jerseys that kind of symbolize the city you're in, so I feel like they did a really good job with this, so I'm excited to wear this season.
To see that again now, that's really exciting for me as the designer because it hasn't aged, it's only become part of the visual vernacular. And I think the Suns have done a beautiful job of, refreshing the 1995 identity.